everybody. Well, the snow is here, the bikes are put away in the shed, so that must mean it's time to talk about Big Trip. Big Trip 2012 almost didn't happen. It was about 2 months or so before we were expecting to leave. I got that dreaded call from Hammy that unfortunately, due to his hectic schedule and the fact that they have a 1-year-old, he just wasn't able to make the time this year to do the trip. So,
my apologies first and foremost for the people that were hoping to see me, but that's probably 4 or 5 people maybe at the most. I probably, probably mattered to me and Jeff the most, but it was a decision that I had to make, and it took me a long time to work up the courage to tell Jeff that between my new job and my growing family that a bike trip just wasn't the right thing for me this year. I hope to see everybody on Big Trip 2013. And until then, I'd like to wish everyone that can ride safe, that doesn't have any white stuff on the ground, to ride safe.
You know, it was a real disappointment. It was a real bummer. He's the only guy I can really imagine doing trips like this with most of the time. But I'm still going to do the trip, So I called up my brother. He rides a Beamer, and despite that, I thought maybe he could still keep up and go on a trip this year, but we weren't able to make that work either. We thought we were going to be able to, but then he had a family vacation at the same time, and we just couldn't make it work. So really what it turned out to be was I was looking at a solo trip. You know, I really don't mind riding alone during the day. It's camping alone in the evening there that's kind of boring. I can make all the smart-ass comments I want. It's just not the same when there's nobody there to have smart-ass comments back. So really what it boiled down to was I was facing a solo trip, which I wasn't really thrilled about, but you know, what are you going to do? That's just the way it is.
Everything is the way it is. It's got to be the way it is. Everything is the way it is. It's got to be the way it is. Feeling young is a trivial game. You get older but you stay the same. You look good when you're shaking my way, but let me think of something awful to say.
So it was kind of more or less looking at a solo trip, which it really didn't feel all that great about. I like, you know, hanging out and spending time with my friends. So what I ended up doing was kind of making arrangements to do little bits here and there throughout the trip, meeting up some friends and acquaintances along the way. So really, with me doing most of the trip solo, I decided I was going to keep it simple. I pretty much decided, you know what, I'm going to stick to BC, do a quick lap of some of my favorite places in central and southern BC, and then swing back home. I had to meet a couple of guys at certain dates in certain spots in BC, but other than that, it was widely open to improvisation. There was a couple of nights there where I didn't know where I'd be camping in a couple of hours. I just, you know, kind of went where I felt like going. Now, I don't even remember how I arrived at this decision, but a couple of days before I left, I decided, you know what, I'm going to slim down all of my gear. I want to see if I can pack my bike up without my panniers, get, you know, everything I need for this trip without those side bags on there. So if I could get everything I needed for this, you know, 10-day trip, I'd be able to do it with just my top box, my tank bag, and my Baja bag. I managed to do it. I practice packed a couple of times, and hey, I was able to do it. There wasn't an ounce of room to spare, but I was able to do it, and I was pretty proud of myself. It seemed like a really good idea. I came to regret that decision the first time I tried to buy a bottle of water, and there wasn't any room to put it anywhere. In fact, the battle for space got so bad that the first time I needed to take the liner out of my jacket, I had nowhere to put it, so I tied it in a bundle to the top of my Baja bag on the back of my bike. So day one arrived, and the plan was for me and my buddy Jason to leave Edmonton, meet up with our buddy Big Dan in Lake Louise, and then the three of us would travel just across the BC border to camp for the night. So Jason and I met for breakfast with another member of our local v-strom club, and we headed out of town.
All right, Matt bought us breakfast. Thanks, buddy. So we got a good layer piled on for the rest of the day on the road.
On another day, come on, with you.
all in all, it was a pretty great day of riding. The weather wasn't spectacular. It wasn't bright and sunny all day, you know, and there was always some clouds, and I think we rode in and out of a couple of rain showers as well. But, you know, once you get out of the prairies and into the mountains, it's spectacular, the scenery. You don't even really notice the air temperature or the weather all that much. You're just really glad to be riding in such a beautiful part of the world. Jay and I rolled into Lake Louise where we met up with Big Dan. We had a quick bite of lunch and then we pushed on into BC. If I remember right, we had to deal with quite a bit of construction as we headed out of Lake Louise, but it wasn't really a big deal. We were in no real hurry. All we wanted to do was make it to Canyon Hot Springs, which is just outside of Revelstoke, where we'd camp for the night. So we pulled into Canyon Hot Springs and we got a beautiful little spot, two little beautiful spots actually to camp, but we ended up paying for it, and I mean financially. It's not a cheap place to camp. Beautiful site, beautiful spot, and great facilities, but I think we ended up paying for two sites close to $100 that night.
All right, night one, here we are in Canyon Hot Springs, just outside of Revelstoke, BC. I got Big Dan and Jason, so here we go. Here is camp for night one. Right by the creek and the bridge. So actually, we're taking advantage of the creek, and we've we got some of our bevies cooling in the creek. Genius. It's like these guys are MacGyver or something.
So we unpacked, set up camp, and got down to doing what we love to do, and that's drinking a few rums, sitting around the campfire, and just having a great time.
Nice. Come on, at least block two of them.
No, fuck that.
Don't be a pussy, guys. Hey. Come on, get up.
Come on, come on, who's the right to leave? Come on, come on, we'll never learn. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Another day, these days.
So eventually the fun had to come to an end, and we put out the fire and called it a night.
A million lies that speak no truth over time gone by.